Hi, I'm Dr. Heidi Koch, and this is the Dr. Heidi Koch Show. You're watching Mediacom Channel 22 and HD 822. I am the owner and the medical director of the spa at West Glen, which is a medical spa and day spa located in West Des Moines, Iowa. During this series of shows, we will be talking about some treatments, procedures, and products available at the spa at West Glen. But my hope beyond that is to provide you with information. There's a lot of information out there about things that can add to your health, to your wellness, and some of it is kind of confusing. So what I hope to do is to bring you information that you can then use to make some educated decisions about your life. To outline this a little bit easier and give you a visual, I've made up a chart, and you can see that in the center of the chart is you. On the outside are several different categories that will help us to focus in on certain things. In each category, there are things that can add positively to your life and negatively. So we will give you the information, and hopefully we can help you to become healthier and to be able to have a more vibrant, more energetic life. So before we get to today's big topic, which is one of those categories that we struggle with a lot. It's just our American lifestyle has not made it easy for us. So what we're going to do when we come back is focus in on the diet and nutrition, and hopefully give you some information, kind of explain some basics, and hopefully even provide you with some answers. So when we return today, the topic that we are going to discuss is one that causes a lot of us a lot of struggles. So we are hoping to give you some information where you can make some decisions and hopefully give you some answers to this problem that a lot of us deal with. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Heidi Koch, and this is the Dr. Heidi Koch Show on HD 822 and Channel 22 on Mediacom. Before we left for break, I was referring to a chart and how you are in the center, and on the outside are a lot of categories that we will be talking about, things that can add to your life positively and things that can impact it negatively. Today's topic is a big one that a lot of us struggle with. And the American lifestyle certainly doesn't make it any easier. What I'm wanting to talk about today, and we will also have a guest later on in the show, is the problems that we have with weight gain, losing weight, and even maintaining an appropriate healthy weight. So before we get to our guest, I wanted to go into a little bit of the basics on our struggles with gaining weight. I'm going to try and simplify this because of time, but hopefully this will kind of set the stage for bringing on our guest. So the biggest, looking at weight gain and our diet, one of the biggest culprits in our diet is sugar. And basically what that is any time that you eat a carbohydrate, no matter what that carbohydrate is, it is going to be broken down into a simple sugar called glucose. So glucose is one of those things that our body needs. Every single cell in our body is going to use glucose for energy. So it's a fine line because you need it, but you don't need too much of it. So what I want to show you is when you eat, you are going to take your carbohydrates that you eat and break them down into glucose. The glucose is going to be taken up into your blood. So we're going to have a bunch of glucose kind of floating around. Now for optimal health and to maintain an appropriate weight, your body wants your glucose to be in a very tight range. It doesn't want high swoops and low valleys. It really wants to maintain it. So when you have glucose in your blood, your body sees that and it wants to do something with it. So your glucose can do one of three things. the first thing is if your body needs immediate energy, it's going to go to the glucose that's in your blood because it's easiest for it to use. So say you've eaten something and you're on your way to the gym, you're first going to use some of these molecules of glucose for your immediate energy. So that's all good. The next thing that's going to happen, and this is your liver. I am no Pictionary artist. But the next thing that's going to happen is your body is going to want to store some of the glucose. So if you have enough for your immediate energy use, then you're going to store some here in your liver. And that is stored in a form called glycogen. Now the thing is, your liver can only store so much glycogen. It's like the gas tank of your car. It will only take so much. So once your glycogen stores are full up here, and you still have too much glucose in your blood, it has to go somewhere. So that's when your body takes these extra ones and puts them into your fat stores. So this is where we start having problems in our American diet. We eat way too much carbs, so we have a lot of sugar in our system. We use some of it for immediate energy. Our stores are usually full up, and so the only thing that our body knows to do with it is to put it into our fat stores. Now, glucose needs a little help in making all of these transitions, and that is where there's a hormone that comes in, and that is insulin. And so this is where the glucose and insulin relationship is very important. It helps us. We need insulin. I don't want people to think that carbs and insulin are bad. You need them. They're necessary for life, but you just don't need too much of them. So you have insulin coming in to help with these transitions. Where the problem comes in is if you are using a lot of insulin, your tissues become sensitive to it. They basically are used to it and they just don't respond to it anymore. So the problem there is then you have too much glucose in your blood and it goes into your fat stores. So this is kind of the basis of how we gain weight, and therefore you have to also look at it as this is how we have to look to try and find ways to lose weight. So just hopefully this visual will help you kind of know what's going on, and when you're eating all those carbs you can kind of picture what's happening. So what we are going to get to is there is a particular diet program that was just rated in the 2015 dietsandreview.com list as the #1 diet of 2015, and that is the Ideal Protein Weight Loss Program. And so we are going to take a look at that program. This is something that we offer at the spa at West Glen, and we have had it there for about 4 years. It is an extremely effective diet in helping people lose weight, but also teaching them along the way how to maintain that weight. The diet was originally designed by a physician in France. His name is Dr. Tran. He specializes in sports medicine, but has a PhD in nutrition. What he did was 25 years ago, the French Olympic athletes were wanting a program to lose fat, but to maintain their muscle mass during their off season. So he designed this for the Olympic athletes. So this is a great program for helping to keep your muscle and lose that fat. So we are going to look at the program, the kind of specifics of how you work with it, how you'll feel on it, and some of the details in the upcoming segment. Hi, welcome back. I'm Dr. Heidi Koch, and this is the Dr. Heidi Koch Show. In the previous segment, we were talking about one of the main struggles of Americans, and that is the issues with gaining weight, losing weight, and maintaining weight. We went into a little bit of the science and the background of how that all happens, and hopefully set the stage for talking about a very effective weight loss program called the Ideal Protein Weight Loss Method. And so I have here with me today is Jessica Schrader. She is our dietitian at the spa at West Glen. She graduated from Iowa State University in December of 2007 with a degree in dietetics. She then was accepted into the Iowa State Dietetic Internship, which she completed in the summer of 2008. After that, she has held jobs in various arenas in dietetics, ranging from a big school district to inpatient hospital work, and also in some outpatient weight management through the hospital. Through that, she did get a certification for the adult management of weight loss through the Commission of Dietetics on Registration. Is that correct?
Close enough.
Close enough. So anyway, this is Jessica Schrader. She has been with us at the spa for almost 4 years, and we've been working with this program for about the same length of time. Jess is full-time at the spa. She sees patients on a daily basis, and along with working with the Ideal Protein method, she also does other counseling, sports counseling for nutrition, and just general counseling for dietetics. So we are going to go into a little bit about the program and see what all we can learn. So with the Ideal Protein,
Yes.
Can you just explain a little bit about the program and how it works?
Yeah, so Ideal Protein is a medically developed, sensible weight loss program that really promotes fat loss by decreasing the carbohydrate intake, which is probably the hardest part of it all, but also promoting or maintaining the muscle mass, which is so important. And many diet programs out there don't do that. And I think that that's something that's key and something that's unique about Ideal Protein. On top of that, it also incorporates one-on-one nutrition counseling on a weekly basis, and then weighing in, and also what I think is by far the most important part is maintenance. We also incorporate post-weight loss nutrition planning, which I think is key to the success and lifelong success for my dieters.
I think one of the important things that you mentioned is this is a program that must be in a professional medical setting. There are people who lose a lot of weight and need to be watched as far as if they are on medications or something like that. So I think that is an interesting point, is that it does need to be in a medical setting. So if a dieter or someone who was interested in possibly joining this program, what would their diet look like on the program for the first couple weeks or months?
Yeah, so the phase 1 protocol is incorporating these great high quality products filled with some high quality protein to help you truly maintain your muscle mass while losing weight, but also keeping you full and satisfied. As you can see, there's a variety of tastes, textures, there's drinks, there's even some pasta, which is high protein, low carb. We have drinks that are ready made, so if you're on the go and you have the on the go lifestyle, this is truly going to be a benefit and help you in any way that you see fit. So many people come in with a question like, I travel a lot, how can I make this work into my lifestyle? And really any of these things travel so easily. I've traveled with them myself in a suitcase or on my carry-on, and they travel really, really well. Or if you're just running out the door, you have kids like me, you're trying to get people dropped off and get to work on time, grabbing a drink or a shake just to make sure you're getting the proper nutrition is so important. So the products are wonderful, but the other part that I think is so important is the other part of the protocol too, and that is, consuming your total of 4 cups of vegetables in a day, which is a lot of vegetables, but really truly that's what helps these dieters be successful in the long term and in maintenance, is they're consuming vegetables and they're learning how to make vegetables a part of their life, which I think a lot of people struggle with. And so it's my primary goal to help make that easier for people by providing recipes. And we do periodic open houses where, I provide recipes that they can sample and just to give them new, fresh ideas. For example, this week I'm challenging all my dieters to try celery root, which is a really, not pretty vegetable, but it is actually really tasty, and most people have never even heard of it or tried it. And you can make it into fries, you can make it mashed like a puree, so it's very comparable to what mashed potatoes would be like, but with a little bit different taste, and it's low carb, so it's a great alternative. The other thing is that then you're also incorporating around 8 ounces of protein a day on your own. So it really makes it practical for a lot of people to go out to eat and to continue living their life without having to give up their family dinners or their social obligations. You can still find low carb options at many of those things.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, is you can still go out to eat as long as you go to a place where you can have a steak or chicken breast or even a lettuce salad with chicken on it. So I think that's a good point. It does fit very well into different lifestyles. So if a patient went on this, how much weight do you think they could lose per week?
So what I usually tell people, and I always want to be realistic with people, typically for women, the average weight loss is about 2.5 pounds, but really the range is 2.5 to 5, especially for men. Men tend to be more towards the 4 pounds a week average. And this is really a healthy amount of weight to lose in a week. It really is not any drastic weight loss. Yes, you do see weight loss quickly, but I also think that that's important to keep people motivated and to keep them on the plan, because it is such a restricted diet. It is important to see those results on a weekly basis, because if we don't see results, then it becomes harder and harder to stay motivated. That's a very high average compared to a lot of programs out there. I have many people that come in, and if they just lose 1 pound a week, they're thankful. They're excited, because there are many programs out there that you're losing maybe 1 pound a week. So 2.5 pounds is really exciting for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. We have had patients who have been on the diet program through the spa that have come with some pretty significant medical issues, whether that be they're on 2 different medications for high blood pressure, on oral medication for diabetes. What happens with those patients when they come in on medications and then they start the program?
Yeah, almost, I would say 90-95% of my patients that come in are on multiple medications, have multiple conditions that lead to metabolic syndrome, such as high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high blood glucose, and then obviously the abdominal obesity or visceral fat. And what's exciting for me is I get to see these people change their lives and transform their lives. Even within the first couple of weeks to 1 month, these people are, decreasing their medications or even discontinuing some of them. For sure, discontinuing by the time they're done with the program. One of my favorite examples is a patient who she came in. She had, I think, a BMI of 43. She was extremely obese. She had a hemoglobin A1C of around 8. She was on all kinds of blood pressure medications, diabetes medications, and she gradually had decreased all of them. By the time she reached her goal, her most recent A1C is 5.6. And
amazing.
That is just an amazing transformation. Not only does she feel better, she's also a traveler, and a big thing for her was being able to fit in the airplane seat, believe it or not. That was one of her major goals, and she actually just retired, and so for her this was a huge thing for her, and for her to live the rest of her life in a good, healthy way and not have to rely on medications, because that's a very strict regimen to have, and even for travel to have to carry all your medications and remember them, let alone take them with you.
So what the hemoglobin A1C is, that is a laboratory level that gives you an indication that over the last 3 months what your blood sugar level has been. And 8 is very elevated. So that goes back to what we were talking about in the previous segment about having too much glucose in your blood and what your body does with that. So coming down to the end here, what are some of the struggles people have?
Yeah, I would say a lot of the struggles come from the restricted nature of the diet. You know, a lot of people have fears of diving into a program that is so restricted, you know, especially because many of them have family obligations, they travel, they have holidays. You know, there are so many things that, you know, cause people to have this fear of changing their lifestyle and like, can I really do this? Can I eat low carb while going to these different obligations? And so I think that that is one of the biggest hurdles, but it's really my job to help guide the dieters through these barriers. You know, we call them barriers, and we always find a way around those barriers, and that's what I like to work with them on, because this is real life.
Right.
You know, these are struggles that they're going to have forever, and I try to remind them of that. Like, it may seem hard now, but it's going to be even harder when it gets to maintenance. So if you're learning now how to work around those barriers, you'll have a better success in maintenance.
This program is defined as a medically monitored program. Can you tell us what exactly that means?
Yeah, so it actually means kind of a couple things. First of all, Ideal Protein can only be in a place that has a physician on staff. But also on top of that, I am a registered and licensed dietitian, and so I think that that is huge, you know, as far as being medically monitored and being able to give sound advice. I'm not just a coach, you know, I do have the science background, but also you're coming in for weekly meetings. I'm keeping in contact with your physician, and so I think that that's a big deal, because a lot of programs out there don't have anything to do with the medical aspect, or their doctors have no idea that they're doing this program. And so I will contact their doctor, let them know that they're doing the program, and then the doctor then can be aware, so that if they do need to make changes with their medications, it's not a huge deal.
Another problem Americans have is with portion control. So how does this diet fit into helping with that?
Yeah, well, not only are the products portion controlled, but they are also, you know, great for satisfying a lot of those needs that they have, whether it's texture, whether it's sweet, whether it's salty. It really does satisfy those in a portion controlled way. But also, you know, because you get to consume 4 cups of vegetables a day, that is a lot. So you're going to fill up with a lot of vegetables, a lot of bulk, and you can always have more vegetables. That's never a bad thing. Plus the 8 ounces of lean protein. You know, it is a specific amount, so that part is kind of portion controlled, but you can always add more vegetables if need be.
So like we've mentioned, this is a topic that many of us struggle with. The American lifestyle leads us to eating too much as far as portions, too much as far as glucose and carbohydrates. So if you are someone who struggles with this problem, wants some help, we would love to help you. This is a wonderful diet. It was named the #1 diet on the dietinreview.com list for 2015. We are at the spa at West Glen and are willing to help you in any way that we can. You can find us at relaxedesmoines.com. So come on in, give us a call. You can send us an email, and we can help you answer any questions. Thank you for joining us. This is the Dr. Heidi Koch Show.